Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, and shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today? As we're relaxing as per usual. You know what I didn't realise is, I brought it up ages ago, is the fact that Phineas and Ferb is getting a season 5. I don't remember exactly when I brought it up, but I brought it up at some point. And I was like, whoa, that's exciting. I didn't realise it really came out. I'm not sure if the entire thing has come out, but quite a few of them came out. It's when I stumbled across a video of like where Phineas and Ferb stars like trying to guess songs, and I was like, whoa, that seems like really up my alley. And then they were talking about it, and then it was like talking about season 5 songs, and I was like, wait, that's out. Anyway, good evening everyone. And on Fawnhallow, it's 8:16 PM on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. What's been going on? I've now been recommended K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever by 2 different people who both said I would thoroughly enjoy it. So I definitely need to watch that at some point. And maybe I'll check it out this weekend, I don't know. I listened to a couple of the songs, mainly by whichever songs just kind of looked the most engaging. I mean, I haven't heard about this movie as one where it's like the plot is absolute pinnacle to not get spoiled on, so I was just like, you know, I'll listen to some of the songs, because I know me, what's the best way to motivate myself is to listen to the songs, and then I'll be like, right, now I need to see the source material, where the songs come from. So I listened to 2 of them. Was it 2 of them? I think so. I can't remember how one of them goes, but one I listened to was Golden. I generally don't remember how it went, but one I listened to, which got very stuck in my head, was Your Idol, which, I mean, it kind of looks like it's a spoiler song, to be honest, but I mean, I think the entire premise is kind of contained within the trailer, so I don't know, maybe it's a plot twist, maybe it's not a spoiler song. Anyway, Your Idol goes very, very hard, so I'm like, okay, you know, but I was right, that absolutely motivated me to go watch this at some point. But yeah, what else has been going on? I mean, yeah, the main thing I was watching was I was just watching a couple of documentaries, like nature documentaries on Netflix recently. Mainly because I was kind of like drawing. Sorry, man, I don't know what you wanted. I think you asked me to catch a bug, but I don't know what bug you asked me to catch, but I bet it would have been impossible in the raining weather. But yeah, it's because I was drawing, and I was like, maybe I should have something on while I draw. The problem is, a lot of the times I don't want to put like a TV show on while I draw, because, you know, if I'm going to put a TV show on, I want to watch a TV show. So it needs to be something which I don't care if I'm not actually paying attention to when I'm drawing, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I've got more drawing to do, more work on the thumbnail art. I'm going to try and finish it off by this weekend. I don't think I will, but, you know, if I set that lofty goal, then there's a chance. I was also doing a bit of a sketch, because I often like to do a bit of a warm-up sketch, I think, leading into Art Fight, where I draw one of my characters within the aesthetic. This time, or I should say the thematic, not the aesthetic, is Fossils as Crystals. I'm on Team Crystals, and that's going fine. What else to talk about? I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about as our sort of main topic for today. Sort of stumbling out. I would say the new Genshin Impact endgame mode came out, Stygian Abyss. It's like really, really difficult. Well, okay, but the final difficulty is really, really difficult. The rapid difficulties are not too bad, to be honest. All completely fine, I would say. But yeah, the final difficulty, for some reason, is just like, whoa, what is going on? Why is this so hard? And that's difficulty 6, not difficulty 5. This is a huge jump up in damage requirements, which is, you know, fine, because obviously, you know, our very highest requirement requires like C6 characters, supposedly. But supposedly the requirement beneath that can be done with C0 characters. You need very, very good builds, but it is possible. I don't have very, very good builds. I have pretty okay builds. So Imaginarium Theatre works out very well for me. I build very wide rather than vertical, but we're not here to talk about Genshin Impact. I think it's alright. I think it needs some brushes up. Just some small improvements here and there. Like, it'd be nice to start with energy, or if not, it'd be nice for it to be ZZZ style, where it's incrementing score counter rather than have to defeat the boss in time. because that's like the third mode we've had of you need to defeat this boss in time, which is a bit boring after a while. But yeah, what should we talk about? The new Pokemon Evolutions pack releases tomorrow. That's kind of exciting. I did manage to port an immersive Glaceon from Triumph from Light a couple of days ago. I was very excited about that. I also did see that there was I don't know much about the physical trading card game. Well, nowadays, like I knew it a bit when I was growing up. Not like to an extreme degree or anything, but I vaguely kind of knew. Well, I mean, I know how to play it. I don't know if I really knew the meta back when I played, but enough to follow on from the championships, I suppose, or whatever was going on. I generally cannot remember the meta back then, but I did see that. Anyway, so what I was going to say is that there's the current set is also an Evolutions set, and apparently, as I hear, it's like one of the most highest in-demand sets there has almost ever been, or something. Like it's almost impossible to get packs of or anything like that. And I will say, sorry, a little pause. I will say the small times that I've been to like a toy store or something, I've never seen this pack in stock. I don't even know if it's in the UK at the moment, but it's called Prismatic Evolutions, and it's basically based around the Eevees, and I only really know about it mainly because I got told about the immersive arts of Evolution EXs or whatever, and I looked at them and I was like, wow, a lot of these are like really, really pretty, and part of me just sort of part of me intrinsically was just like not viscerally, I was just like, I got to have one of each of these just for collection. Then I literally took a beat and I was like, why do I got to have this? Like, I don't collect cards or anything like that. I don't even hang things up on my wall for that decorative thing, so I don't even know where I'd put it. Sure, it'd be nice to have if you gave me a choice, would you rather have it or not have it? I'd rather have it, but I'm like, it's not worth the £2,500 or something it takes to actually assemble that. I mean, you could just get lucky, but still. But what I did see, which actually almost did tempt me, was the fact that you could get this like premium box, collector's box, I think, about the set, which comes with like a lot of cute items, one being like this Eevee pouch, one being like an Eevee deck holder, and one being like an Eevee card sleeve. I don't think, again, I would ever play the card game, but I could see myself collecting some very nice arts for fun. But I probably wouldn't have as much fun opening the packs or anything like that, so who knows. What was it called? Premium box Prismatic Evolutions, something like that. But apparently it's also like sold out everywhere. I kind of mainly liked it because I liked the desk mat, which came, not desk mat, but it was like I was assuming it's a playing card mat or something, a play mat, but like you could probably use it as a desk mat, right? I thought it looked very, very cool. Pokemon TCG Live, what is this? The online version of a trading card game, but not the pocket version. Okay, fair enough. I just thought it looked very, very cute. And I was like, I wonder how much it costs. And I was like, oh, it costs like £90. I'm like, that's not too bad, I suppose, for a big collector's item. But it's not like in stock anywhere, as far as I can tell. Supply and demand. Nintendo are very good at not printing enough of something, and then it being incredibly high in demand, price-wise. Which you would have thought would be to their benefit, but if anything, I kind of think it's more to the scalper's benefit, isn't it? Resellers now just have an incredible advantage of, if they manage to buy it for £90, they can sell it for like 400 or something. Big markups. Anyway, I'm not going to buy that in the slightest. I do like my Evolution themed things, but I'm just like, why would I need an Evolution themed deck thing? Unless I wanted to get into collecting it, which I don't really. I think that's a dangerous game. I do like to collect things, but I think trading card games are just so overwhelmingly many things to collect that it sort of ends up dissuading me a little bit. Because I'm like, there's no way I'm ever going to collect all the things. But I had this sort of like revelation. I'm not sure revelation's the right word, but I had this sort of like come to realization when I was look, we were like in an anime sort of like collector store, and they had these collector blind boxes. I talked about them, I think yesterday or the day before, called the Pokemon Romantic Collection of like blind boxes, and they were really, really pretty, like exactly my sort of aesthetic. And they had a lot of Pokemon I quite liked in it. Like they had Sylveon, love Sylveon. Not my favourite evolution, I don't think. Probably out there though. They had Primarina, and I love Primarina. They had Alolan Vulpix, which I thought was cute. Probably would have preferred Ninetales, but I would take Vulpix. Sprigatito I think is very cute as well. But just the absolute aesthetic of it was fantastic. It was essentially just like jewelry box, like style Pokemon. It was very elegant. And I was like, this is fantastico. But then, like, I noticed that the shop I was in basically told you what was in each of these blind boxes. So then, really, if anything, they were unblind boxes. See-through boxes. And then I had a look at each of them, and I was like, oh, you know, I can see that there are no Sylveons here. There's one Primarina. There was no Alolan Vulpixes. It was like 3 Galarian Ponytas and like 5 Jigglypuffs or something. There's no Sprigatitos either. And I was just like, okay, well now I kind of know what to get, but now I'm like, instead of paying £15 to open a blind box, which could be anything, as they say in Family Guy, it could even be, well, okay, that joke, that meme format doesn't really work when I don't say the original thing. But now you sort of like know for certain what it is. But weirdly enough, I didn't, like, I was going to buy a blind box just to be like, what are the chances? And I was like, maybe I should buy 2, just for like, just to get like 2 different funds just to see. But now I know that I can't even get Sylveon. I can't get Alolan Vulpix, which was probably my second favourite one. And Primarina would have been my second, but I like the Alolan Vulpix one more. I was just kind of like, well, I mean, I can buy the Primarina one and get it guaranteed, but now I feel just like dissuaded from getting it now. It was strange, because in that moment, I said to my friend, I was like, I think it makes sense that they say what's in the blind box, because I'd much rather buy the one I want. But then, now knowing that the one I want is not even a possibility, I didn't want to buy any of them. So it's really to their deficit that they put that on there. My friend was like, well, what's the point of knowing it, because then it's not a blind box, you don't get that sort of fun part of it. My friend's not a gambler or anything in that way, but I can understand where he's coming from. There's a bit of fun in the not knowing, and then you buy it under the sort of the context that you're like, you would be satisfied with whatever outcome you got. But now you know the outcome is predetermined, fate has ordained what you're going to pull. You're sort of just like, oh, well, now there's no point anymore. There's no justification. Because before you can buy it and be like, oh, it could be anything, it could even be the one I want, but I'll be happy with whatever. Now me buying it will be like, well, now I'm guaranteed to know what I want. Do I care enough about this to get it? And the answer is no. If it was a Sylveon, maybe. I mean, I did see some of the other blind boxes as well, which I was also picking up, because I was like, oh, there's a chance I can get like a Leafeon in this one. I think it was like a Moonlight one or something, I can't remember. It was also quite cool. But I was like, well, what's the point? It sort of like snapped me out of a trance. It like broke me from the gacha FOMO vibe, and I was like, oh, well, I don't actually need all one of these. So I just put them all back on the shelf and I didn't buy any of them. And when I reflected, I was like, if I just had the option to buy them as an actual figurine, I probably would have bought the one I want. But then reframing it as, here are 6, 2 of them you do want, 2 you'd be okay with, just meant I didn't buy any of them. Weird how it works like that, huh? And I think probably the reason that the one I want wasn't there. I mean, Sylveon is very, very popular. It wouldn't surprise me if any of the Sylveon blind boxes people immediately bought up first, and poor Jigglypuff was left to be the one unbought. Which ends up kind of making sense, I suppose, in the scale of like, oh, the most popular one gets bought, and now, you know, I've come late to a party, and I was like, okay, well, another one I don't want, another ones I want aren't here anymore. So effectively, I was basically just buying whichever ones they had in stock rather than them being grouped together, you know? I don't know, I guess it was just a bit of a sobering realisation, if anything. Just, it's amazing, like, even though you're aware of these concepts, these gacha-like concepts, to lure people in, you still fall very much victim to them, right? very much a sobering realization. But even though I play case catch games, I'm very well aware of like probability and mathematical aspect of it. I still almost fell into the honey lure trap of just buying a blind box. Now, does that really matter? No, I mean, the blind box was not that expensive at the end of the day. I don't think it would have broke my bank if I bought it. But it did make me just sort of go, huh, you know? How strange. Anywho. Yeah. So, the revelation of a blind box. Bad for business, good for consumer practice, though. So I approve of doing that. I was looking, because at that point I was like, I feel like I should buy something, or, you know. But I was like, what other thing am I going to buy? Like, it is an anime store at the end of the day. I don't really want a lot of these anime figurines or collectibles or stuff like this. It's just not my vibe. Plushies, maybe. But there weren't any plushies I wanted. And I was like, maybe I could buy like some of the manga books. And I was like, oh look, we have Beastars here. I could buy the entire Beastars collection. But I was like, I've already got 1 to 15 of the Beastars collection, but I got it in Japanese, not in English. So it'd be a bit weird to have like the first 15 in Japanese and the last 6 or 7 in English, right? So then I just ended up buying nothing, which is a bit of a rarity of me on holiday, to be honest. I often like to buy at least one little knick-knack as a souvenir, but so be it. I have to settle with memories and photos. And on that note, I'm going to knock over my Switch controller. I think I'll probably round this episode off here. But yeah, it was a bit of a interesting, sobering realization. You know what I was also going to look up? Prismatic Evolution packs. I want to see how expensive these are, because I hear they're very expensive. £11 for one booster pack? That is crazy. Prismatic Evolutions. Like, you can buy the Elite Trainer box, the Super Premium box. It's got 3.6 stars. Apparently it's very damaged. I have heard of people like who actually have access to them early, like rifling around and grabbing stuff from them first, which is crazy. You get an SPC. I don't know what SPC is. Mine came in bad condition, seal is broken, and there's a black stuff on the seal and box. My word. Utterly terrible. German one. Bad and not the English one. Box itself slightly damaged and the card sleeves came bent too, but overall good product. Pricey for £90. That kind of sucks. What other reviews are there? I don't know. Oh, I do like these little compact cases though. One for each evolution. I'm just a sucker for evolutions, mainly because they're like a taxonomy of creatures. I wonder when we're going to finally release more of them, you know. I guess they have a good number right now of 8 evolutions and 1 Eevee. So I can see they're not in a rush to. But still. Anyway, now I'm going to round this episode off here. So I guess unblind boxes is what we're talking about. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscriptions, shares greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again. But for now, it's our farewells. Until next time. Bye bye for now.